Good afternoon, my dear students. Hope you are enjoying yourself. Hope you are staying safe. Please keep staying safe and stay protected. So, last 2 weeks before the holidays, the Eid Fitr last week, we started our topic on social conflict. I was able to tell you the meaning of social conflict. The meaning of conflict, where we said disagreements between or among people, among countries and so on. So we talked about the types of conflict, where I told you the violent and non-violent conflict. We made mention of that. I believe you still remember the topic, the topic when we started 2 weeks ago. So today, without wasting much of our time, we want to go into the examples of social conflict or examples of conflict. Yes, some of you, good number of you, sent in your assignment, but it's a pity some are yet to submit any of the assignment that has been given in the past. Please, and you've been told that your assignment attracts what? It attracts marks even when you resume. So please keep submitting your assignment whenever you are given assignment to do. So this afternoon we want to talk about the examples of conflict. The examples of conflict. We have two major types of conflict. One, inter-ethnic conflict. Inter-ethnic conflict. And the second one is intra-ethnic conflict. What do you mean by inter-ethnic conflict? Inter-ethnic conflict is simply the conflict between two ethnic groups. Between two ethnic groups. Inter literally meaning is between something, while intra means what? Within or inside. So when we talk of inter-ethnic groups, we are simply talking of groups that continue to what? That it's a conflict. Inter-ethnic conflict is simply a conflict, a form of conflict that occurs between ethnic groups. The conflict continues to erupt over land. It could be over land or some other local nature, some other purely local nature, such as settling. We have issue of some that settled, that it led to what? It led to conflict. We had different forms. So when we talk of inter-ethnic conflict, it simply means what? Conflict between two ethnic groups. So we want to go into the examples now. Examples, each has example. We want to talk about the Yoruba Hausa ethnic group. That is in Shagam. We had conflict between the Yoruba and Hausa community in Shagam. And what led to this? We want to talk about it one after the other. What led to this conflict? I'm going to give you the in-depth of it in order to have the knowledge of what happened between the Yoruba and Hausa community in Shagamu. So let's go on. The Yoruba and the Hausa are among the largest politically active and commercial inclined ethnic groups. That is, we all know that Yoruba and Hausa are largely what? Ethnic groups found in every area of what? Of the country. While the Hausa lives in the north of Yoruba, in the north, we know that the Yorubas were in the southwestern. So the trade in cattle and kola nuts brought many Hausas to settle in Remo, because they had what? The Remo has a vast in what? In kola nuts. In order they actually produced kola nut in Shagamu. That is Remo area of Shagamu. So and also the Hausa had to come and settle down because of cattle rearing over there. So over the years, the trade became an avenue for what? For both ethnic groups. So this trade, the Hausa already came over to Shagam in order to settle because of cattle rearing and also kola nut farming. So they settled there. So it became an avenue for both ethnic groups. They've been doing things together, both Hausa and what have you, both Hausa and Yoruba since the Hausa came down to Shagamu. So until July 1999, when there was conflict between these two ethnic groups, the first cause of this conflict was the death of two Hausa women who were said to be prostitutes. They were killed during the celebration of Oro traditional festival. So the first cause of conflict was the death of two Hausa women said to be prostitutes who were killed during the celebration of traditional festival known as Oro. If you look at the examples that was cited there, I said the Yoruba Hausa community in Shagamu. What led to that? The respect for traditional, the Oro festival. So that was what happened. These two Hausa women were killed during this Oro festival. The women were said to have what? To have been in their shop. They are prostitutes. Actually, they are prostitutes. And what happened was they were in their shop till 6 p.m. But there was what? There was no patronage. No one patronized them. That okay, there's something we have to, they are prostitutes already. And what happened? Okay, let's go into what do you sell. No one patronized them. So they felt like going out to attract men. So unfortunately, this collided with the celebration of the annual traditional Oro. And when women and during that period, even till now, Oro festival, women are not supposed to be outside between the specific time that is allocated for this Oro festival. So that period, we already know that Oro festival, they are not meant to be outside between midnight and 6 a.m. So by this, any woman who violated the sacred tradition will lose her life instantly. And as such, before the commencement of this Oro festival, all and sundry were usually told the rules and regulations governing the celebration of the festival, which the Seriki Hausa admitted it. So the Seriki Hausa admitted it. It was told then that Oro festival will happen, tell your Hausa members they should not come out this time, which he did. But unfortunately, on this particular occasion, trouble broke out because these two prostitutes, they died instantly when they met all these traditionalists carrying out their Oro festival. So they died. These two girls were captured and they died instantly. So on this particular occasion, trouble broke out because these two Hausa prostitutes came out to look for clients, and about 1 a.m. defiling the tradition that women must be indoor during the night. So the disobedience of this prostitute led to their death. And the Hausa residents and the colleagues of the dead trooped out en masse to protest. So this was what led to the Yoruba Hausa community in Shagamu, their conflict. This was what led to the conflict that year. So the protest degenerated into violence, which later brought about destruction of lives and properties. You can see now. So that is the case for the Yoruba Hausa community in Shagamu, the respect for tradition. So you can see Oro festival. So let's move on. The second one, the thief Jukun in Wukari. The thief Juku in Wukari. The case, their own cases there was case of indigene and settler. So these two has had history of occurrence and reoccurrence over a period of time. There has been periodic fighting between these two ethnic groups, the Civic Jukun in Wukari. The Tiv and Jukun in Wukari. They've always been fighting. Late 1950, in the year 1959, 1964, 1990, 1992, and again in 2000/2001. So there has been conflict between these two ethnic groups, and the conflict has resulted in destruction of lives and properties. The conflict has affected the relationship between them. The cause of conflict was that the Jukun claimed to be the original inhabitants of Wukari. That is the cause of the problem. They've always been claiming, the Jukun has always been claiming that they came there, they are the ones that own Wukari, not Tiv. and the Tiv refused to accept the view of the Jukun. So on this basis that the two have been living there for decades, therefore have equal rights. They are always claiming equal rights. But when we say no, I got here before you, you came later. Jukun will say, we hold, will carry. Whereas TV will say, TV will tell you what? They will tell them that no, you came here to meet us. So they had the issue of what? Case of indigene and settling. So the thief who were seen as settlers, and what do we call settlers? Settler is a person who moves with a group of others to live in a new country or area, are deprived of many rights. You can see the Jukun were depriving thief many rights that they were supposed to have. So they deprived them the right of what? Of employment, economic opportunity, discrimination in education, and so on. So the thief therefore said that they are fighting for equal rights since they are also indigenes of what? Taraba. The Wukari is in Taraba State, but the TV was then, they were actually fighting for their rights, so that they too, they are indigene of what? Of Taraba State, not only Jukun. So the second case is assassination of what? Representative of Jukun in Taraba State House of Assembly. Jukun accused the thief. So the assassination of a Jukun member in Taraba State House of Assembly, the only female was killed. So the Jukun accused the thief for this. So you can see different what? You can see different conflicts among these between these two ethnic groups. The third one, we have Isekiri and Ijo or Urobo. That's the third one. What happened to this second group of people? The third example, we are looking at the inter-ethnic group. The third one, we are looking at in the Isekiri and Ijo. The Ijo now is now between Ijo and Urobo. So in 1997, under this, we want to talk about the movement of local government headquarters from Ijo area to Isekiri territory. And another, these are the two things that cause their what? That cause their own inter-ethnic group. Another one is land ownership or disputes. So in 1997, the federal government under the late General Sani Abacha created a number of local government areas, including a Warri Southwest Local Government Council located in Ijo area of Warri. But due to political pressure by the Isekiri on the federal government, the headquarters of the same local government council was relocated to Ijo area. You can see there was pressure by the Isekiri, so they had to what? The Isekiri on the pressure by the Isekiri made them to take the local government from where? From Ijo to Isekiri. So this causes what? Violence. It caused conflict between these two ethnic groups. So the council, the local government council, was relocated to Ijo area of Warri environs. The issue of local government allocation has given birth to more disputes between the Isekiri, the Ijo, and the Urobo. So the three indigenous groups were Urobo, Isekiri, and Ijo. So there has been issue of being a local government here. Why are you taking it to another? Where are you taking it to Ijo? But as a result of pressure, the local government that was in Ijo was taken to Isekiri because of the pressure of the Isekiri. So and they are both, these two ethnic groups are both in what? In Delta State, and they both fought over a piece of land too. They fought over a piece of land. That is why we said land ownership stroke dispute. So you can see the conflict between these ethnic groups. So let's move on to the communal or inter-ethnic conflict. What do you mean by communal or inter-ethnic conflict? The communal or inter-ethnic conflict. What do you mean by communal? This is simply the conflict which arises within the same community group. You know, I told you inter means what? Inter means between. Intra now means within, inside. So when two distinct community groups come into conflict, it results to what? Communal or what? Inter-ethnic group. So what are the causes? One, the causes of communal intra-ethnic groups include indigene. The issue of indigene, I'm the one that you met me here, I'm the one that came here before the other ethnic group. Indigene or settler, the land ownership, the issue of I own it, this is a land, like the case of Civic and the case of Thief and what? And Jukun that I made mention earlier. So another cause is land disputes. This is the contradictory claim to right in land by two or more parties. You know, they claim their land. I own this land. Another party will say, yes, we own it. It's not for you. It's not. That is what? Land dispute. Land dispute. So boundary dispute. That is another cause of what? Of communal ethnic group. Communal ethnic conflict. So that is what this is. When we talk of boundary dispute, this is the disagreement over the possession or control of land between two or more territories. So some people will say, this boundary, if he owns it, like some other, like that of when we talk of Ife Modakeke, some people will say, this boundary, if he owns it, you cannot tell me that this boundary is for Modakeke or for Ife. No. So those are the examples. You can see causes of inter-ethnic conflict, the ownership issues, indigene or settler, the land dispute, the contradictory claims, the boundary dispute, and so on. So we want to talk about the examples now, the examples of communal what? Inter-ethnic conflict. One, we want to talk of Eleme stroke Okrika. Those are the intra-ethnic groups, the conflict between the same what? Ethnic group. We have the creation of what? Creation of state and local government. The creation of state and local government. 2, unclear boundaries. Unclear boundaries. 3, clash over what? Ownership of oil fields, farmland, and waterways. 2, the second communal ethnic conflict there, we have the Ife Modakeke in Osun State. That cause was indigene stroke settler case. So let's take it one after the other. The Eleme or what? The Eleme and Okrika. The Eleme and Okrika, the creation of state and local government. The conflict between these two ethnic groups started with the creation of states, which was unclearly defined and demarcated boundaries. Clashes over ownership of farmland. They had issue of clashes of what? Over farmland. Clashes over who owns the land, ownership of farmland. I own the land, I own this oil field, I own this oil farmland. So they had issue. Eleme people alleged the government by allowing the Okrika neighbors to encroach in their land. So they had the issue of Okrika to encroach into their land. So we have the Ife Modakeke in Osun State. The Modakeke are both Yoruba. The Ife and Modakeke are both Yoruba of Osun State in southwestern Nigeria. The socio-cultural and political system of these two communities are identical. So as related as Ife and Modakeke are, however, both have engaged in protracted conflict over a century. You can see they've been fighting over a century. It remains that the oldest intra-ethnic groups in Nigeria. These two remain the oldest intra-ethnic groups in Nigeria. The Modakeke people are generally considered strangers, tenants, and migrants in what? In Ife, after the collapse of Oyo Empire. That is the old Oyo Empire in the 19th century. So they fought over land. Modakeke and Ife fought over land, local government, and debates are about Modakeke's power, sovereignty, or staying with Ife. Should they stay in Ife or they take their exit? So boundary, they also fought over boundary disagreement, masquerade Egungun crossing each other's territory, that the Egungun should limit their own there, and if Modakeke should stay with their own Egungun, the two Egungun should not cross each other's boundaries. So all this led to what? Conflict between Ife, Modakeke, and so on. So next class we will look at the causes of conflict, but you can write down your notes. The causes of conflict, the lack of information, misunderstanding, and so on. Why we had to stay long on this is giving you the in-depth of the story behind all these inter and intra ethnic groups. So we look at the concluding part of the note next class: the causes of conflict, the consequences, and how to manage and resolve conflict. So thank you and God bless you.